today we'll continue talking, but how does pipeBOT actually work with other systems? So pipeBOT actually works with other systems by integrating directly into the Scada system. So here's here's a lovely screen. We'll go through each of them. So in a pipeline scenario, so you're using Scada, so supervisory control and data acquisition. Like the easiest way to explain it, it's like your operating system for pipelines, or in industrial IoT, it's your operating system for pipeline industrial IoT. So it's Scada, supervisory control and data acquisition. So if you think of it, you see your control room operator, and like here's a picture, right? Here's someone in front of their 6 screens. They're operating assets that are all across the country, all across the continent. So how does pipeBOT actually work and integrate with that existing system? So, something that I used to hear and I used to laugh about is people would be like, oh, industrial IoT is going to change the world. And I was like, don't we already have that? I'm pretty sure that's called Scada. so yeah, I know that not all heavy industry is tied in and all of that good stuff, but in the pipeline sector, in the global pipeline sector, everything's already tied in to Scada. You've got your pressure transmitters, your temperature transmitters, you've got your valves are actuated in telemetry. You can see everything on the Scada screen, right? Like it is your operating system. So how, again, back to that, now that I've explained what that is, how does pipeBOT actually tie into that? So you have OPC Connectivity. Let's put here what that actually stands for, because I can't really remember, but we do make jokes sometimes and call it, oh, please connect. So hopefully this technology is getting better. So OPC and how that connects. So think of OPC as like your APIs in software, right? Like your API means that you connect one software package to another. In industrial systems, OPC is how you connect one industrial software to another industrial control system software. So the way that pipeBOT works is an overlay on top of your existing Scada system. It's pulling signals straight from the Scada system, so it is reading and seeing all of your critical safety settings, so your max allowable operating pressure, your min suction pressures. It's pulling all of that in. It's pulling in your RTTM, your real-time transient model. It's pulling that data in as well. And then it's getting the input from your control room operator, which is like, sending in that, what is that target flow rate, right? So it's getting that, what is the command? What does pipeBOT actually have to do? Or putting in the command is a swing or a strip or like a startup, right? So you're putting all of that in, and then, so that's coming in. You can see, Crux sits in between the control room operator's existing screens and Scada as Scada itself, right? So the HMIs, the human machine interface displays, Scada itself. Of course, you have your historian where all of the data is written to in your existing system. So, Crux pipeBOT writes its commands that it's sending, its feedback, everything out to the existing Pi database, if you're using Pi or whatever it is that you're using as a historian. So pipeBOT is sitting there in between. It's the screens are simplified for your control room operator. You're connected via OPC. You're reading and writing directly from the Scada system with data, and then outputting commands straight out to the field to the PLCs, and also then writing what's actually happening into the historian. So that's where pipeBOT sits. So some people, of course, are like, well, why can't you just program this directly into the Scada system? From a safety perspective, that's a terrible idea. So that's a terrible idea because you don't want to be messing with, these are critical safety constraints, and you really don't want to mess with them, right? Like if you were programming in some special unique software inside of your Scada system and you start messing with your overpressure protection system, like that's potentially catastrophic. So because pipeBOT is reading and actually writing commands back out to this control system, back to Scada, it has to live outside of it. Because then if for some reason pipeBOT sends the wrong command, it's the same as your control room operator trying to send the wrong command into an existing Scada system. The Scada system just won't take it. So that's why it's super critical that we're connected via OPC and we are outside of the Scada system, not programmed inside of it. So I hope that is helpful with how pipeBOT works in connection with the Scada systems, the historian and the PLC that's already existing and already there. And some folks get confused too. They're like, okay, where's the hardware? There isn't any hardware. pipeBOT has no hardware. pipeBOT's just software, right? That's what it does.